The brides of the Emperor, once hailed as the epitome of loyalty and purity, within the 36th millennium, they fell from grace during the Age of Apostasy and the reign of blood ends. Scorn Sister, whose real name was lost to history, was among the last survivors of her once illustrious order. Before Alicia Dominica confronts Vandire, Scorn Sister and her companions were captured by a Slaaneshi cult, who subjected them to unspeakable tortures in an attempt to break their wills. But the party would not be swayed from their devotion. In a twist of fate, they were rescued by a Drukhari raiding party, who took them captive and subjected them to further torment. Scorn Sister watched in horror as her sisters were slowly broken, their purity and devotion to the Emperor stripped away. She herself was spared, but only so that she could witness the destruction of her sisters. When a group of Space Marines finally rescued Scorn Sister's party from the clutches of the Drukhari, she was a broken and embittered shell of her former self. Learning of the betrayal of the High Lord Goj Vandire, and how he had tricked her sisters, only added to her shame and disgust at the Imperium she had once served so faithfully. The Inquisition branded Scorn Sister and her surviving companions as heretics, and they were hunted relentlessly. In the end, it was not the Inquisition that broke them, but their own anger and bitterness towards each other. Several of Scorn Sister's brethren turned on her, blaming her for their capture and torture, and for the shame that had befallen their once glorious order. As their sisterhood crumbled, her party were excommunicated from the refounding Daughters of the Emperor. Scorn Sister's anger and thirst for vengeance against the followers of Slaaneshi, the Adepta Sororitas, the Eldar and the Imperium only grew stronger. As Scorn Sister and her companions became the widows of vengeance and pledged themselves to renegade chaos, acknowledging the death of the Emperor, a warband dedicated to slaughtering the enemies seeking revenge for their own past sufferings, they underwent a transformation that changed them both physically and mentally. Their bodies were enhanced and mutated, giving them incredible strength and resilience in battle. Each member seeking their own vengeance, the skilled become cultist, renegades or chaos battle sisters, while the weak are possessed into lycanthrope creatures. Their minds were filled with a bloodlust and a desire for carnage that consumed them, driving them to seek out ever greater challenges and enemies to slay. As the Widows of Vengeance grew in power and reputation, they caught the attention of the Chaos Gods, each of whom sought to claim them as their own. But Khorne was the most powerful and persuasive of all, and he offered the Widows a deal. In exchange for their unswerving loyalty and devotion, he would grant them the power to crush their enemies and bathe in the blood of the fallen. Under Khorne's guidance, the Widows of Vengeance became an unstoppable force of destruction, feared and revered throughout the galaxy for centuries. In a ill-fated belief, the original founders, the Widows, believe their salvation is in finally killing the Emperor and free him from the corrupted Imperium that had betrayed him, while a vendetta has been sworn to wipe out the followers of Slaaneshi and Eldar in a brutal and bloody crusade, leaving a trail of carnage and destruction in their wake. And as they fought, they called upon the power of the Blood God, summoning demons and unleashing devastating psychic attacks that left their enemies reeling. In the end, the Widows of Vengeance became Khorne's most devoted servants, living only to serve their master and spill the blood of their enemies. And as they fought and killed, they felt the thrill of battle, the rush of victory and satisfaction of revenge, knowing that their deeds would be forever remembered in the annals of chaos as a testament to the power and glory of the Blood God.